Hello everyone, and welcome to round 5 of the 2025 Super Formula One World Championship, the Daytona Grand Prix. We are here in the United States, Daytona, Florida, at Daytona International Racing Course, specifically the road course, for 36 laps around this nearly 3.6 mile track with 12 turns, including all 4 turns on the tri-oval. Sun just beginning to set on the horizon, and we will race into the night once again. Beautiful scenery. Let's take a look at our starting grid.
On the back row, Lance Stroll starts 20th alongside the user driver Nico Hülkenberg. Fernando Alonso starts alongside Pierre Gasly. Oliver Bearman next to Liam Lawson, and then rookies Jack Doohan and Gabriel Bortoleto. Esteban Ocon starts alongside Charles Leclerc outside of the top 10. Then it's Isaac Hadjar alongside Lewis Hamilton in 9th. Yuki Tsunoda starts alongside Carlos Sainz, and then Lando Norris alongside Kimi Antonelli. George Russell and Oscar Piastri on the second row, and then Max Verstappen starts second with the Williams of Alexander Albon on pole for the second time in his career.
And we are off from Daytona, and Alex Albon gets away perfectly, pulling ahead of Verstappen across the line. Now he has to cover off the inside line going into turn 1, or Piastri will take advantage, and Piastri is already ahead of Verstappen but cannot get ahead of Albon. And look at Antonelli from 5th, he's already up into 3rd. That inside line is very advantageous as Sainz gets ahead of Verstappen for a moment, but Max Verstappen back up into 4th but falling from 2nd at the start, and Hamilton and Russell there. Hamilton into 7th already. As there's down the inside, George Russell on Carlos Sainz. Russell getting the move done there. And Tsunoda on the inside of Lando Norris as well, as the cars begin to exit the infield and out into turn 1 of the oval. Alex Albon has held it together through the first portion of the lap, but the run down to the bus stop is long and gives Oscar Piastri a very good opportunity for a run at Albon here. The McLaren already looking down the inside. He's thinking about going for it here. Into the bus stop they go. And out comes Piastri. Contact as well, but out comes Piastri in the lead of the race. Albon not giving this one up yet. On the exit, they are side by side coming around the final 2. But Albon will have to slot into 2nd. And now he's got Antonelli, Russell all knocking at the door. Antonelli establishes the inside line. He's going to have a good run at this. Down into turn 1 they go. And into 2nd goes Kimi Antonelli. The door is open for George Russell as well, and he goes into 3rd. So Albon, the pole sitter, tried to hold on, but lost out at the bus stop and is already off the podium by lap 2. Antonelli up to 2nd from 5th, but Oscar Piastri leads the Daytona Grand Prix. Look at this shot here down the back stretch, and Antonelli, there's no way he goes for a move from that far back. He's trying to pull alongside. He goes for it, but a bit too overzealous there from the rookie. Piastri keeping us cool and holding off the Mercedes. Remember, Antonelli coming off his first SF1 podium, so he's gotten a boost of confidence, but he'll have to learn patience when fighting for the race lead. A lap later, and this time Kimi Antonelli looks a bit closer to Piastri. He's going to be fully alongside before they get to the bus stop, and much better this time. But Piastri is coming back at him already and look back into the lead. So another failed attempt by Antonelli. He is so close, but he's going to have to continue to wait for another opportunity. And now Russell and Verstappen have arrived onto the scene. 4 cars now at the front. As look at Antonelli, he's already moving to the inside line. Antonelli at the line, forcing his way down the inside. Piastri trying to close the door, but Antonelli has already gotten in it. Piastri backs off, and Antonelli will have the inside line going into turn 1 here. And Kimi Antonelli, look at that, takes the lead of the race for the first time in his career. And Verstappen follows him through on Piastri and moves up into 2nd. But Kimi Antonelli is your new race leader on lap 4. Down into turn 1 now. There's Lewis Hamilton going for 6th and gets the move done. And the pole sitter Albon now falling to 7th. Lawson trying to chase down Tsunoda, and look at Leclerc getting a slipstream and pulling up into the points. Both Ferraris trying to recover what was lost in qualifying. Verstappen closing in on Antonelli for the race lead here. But here comes Oscar Piastri. Incredible speed from the McLaren under slipstream. And he has got that inside line. He has got second place before they get to turn 1. Verstappen tries to fight it back, but Piastri is ahead and into second place. Hamilton is gaining on Lando Norris as they head into the bus stop. Hamilton's got the advantage. Norris gets a good exit out of chicane. And Hamilton gets a good launch in the second phase and is pulling ahead of Norris. Norris will have to slot underneath. End of lap 18 now, and Mercedes are now calling Antonelli into the pits to respond to McLaren, trying to get Piastri on an undercut here. There's Piastri coming around the final 2. He's already made his stop, came out with no traffic and could push on his outlap. Russell's gone in as well, and Verstappen and Hamilton first and second having yet to pit. But there's Piastri going across the line, and this will probably be close. There's Antonelli coming out now, and he's gonna beat Piastri out here. Piastri arriving at the back of the Mercedes into turn 3, but he's had to slow the car down, and Antonelli protects a net race lead, but will continue to have Piastri right along with him. Verstappen and Hamilton stay out another lap, but look at Lewis Hamilton. The speed of his Ferrari today has been incredible as he passes Verstappen well before they get to turn 1. We haven't seen that today, and this could be the race for a net podium. Hamilton, Albon, and Verstappen all packed in tightly here. Across the line and heading into turn 1 as through they go, and Max Verstappen from a ways back. Albon left the inside open, and Verstappen, as he always has at Daytona, takes advantage, does the 2-time winner here. Oscar Piastri has remained patient since the undercut attempt on Antonelli for the lead on lap 19. He hasn't made a single overtake attempt, but now he's closer than ever. Piastri's got the inside heading into turn 1. Kimi Antonelli's going to try to hang around the outside here, but nothing doing. Oscar Piastri retakes the race lead here late with 5 to go. He was just waiting to pounce, and that is the strategy of a champion there by the McLaren driver. Coming around the first bend, Kimi Antonelli is going to have a good run back at Piastri. Antonelli has taken it straight to the reigning champ today, and he is not yet finished. Into the bus stop they come. Piastri breaks first. Antonelli is ahead and into the lead of the race. It only took him 1 lap to get it back. The rookie has come alive here late and has refused to back down to Piastri for the 2nd week in a row. Horrible news here. McLaren are informing Oscar Piastri that he's taken too much out of his tires in this 2nd stint. He's not going to be able to finish this race as it stands, and he's going to be forfeiting a podium here as Piastri brings his McLaren into the pits and leaves Antonelli all by himself out front. So George Russell will be next across, and Norris is diving in as well. Both McLarens battle on their tires tonight. And now Hamilton and Verstappen will be next across, and that will put Lewis Hamilton in 3rd and in position to take his first podium in red with 2 to go. Last week, Kimi Antonelli took his first podium on his 4th race of his young career, but this time, Kimi Antonelli crosses the line for the very first time, a race winner, winning the Daytona Grand Prix in just his 5th race of his career. George Russell has fallen back into the hands of his former teammate Lewis Hamilton on the back straight. Verstappen is there as well, but Hamilton moves into second place. Verstappen almost follows him through. Russell defending for his life now to finish on the podium. And look at Fernando Alonso, he's not even involved, arriving to the back of the scene as round they come. Lewis Hamilton has had a shaky start to his first season in red, but from ninth on the starting grid. And look at the slipstream Verstappen is getting from Hamilton. Verstappen up into third. Hamilton will take his first Ferrari podium. Neck and neck to the line. Verstappen and Russell. Russell just barely edging out Verstappen at the line. What a finish in Daytona, a photo finish. We need a slow-mo replay for that, but for now, Russell will join both his former and current teammates on the podium. And here's a still shot of the finish, and George Russell was just ahead by only a front wing at the line. Incredible finish. Didn't see much of Nico Hülkenberg today. He was unable to run in the points, but he had quite the clash with Yuki Tsunoda at the end of the race here. Tsunoda getting ahead at the bus stop kinda barged in there, but making the final lap overtake. And this battle technically irrelevant for no points, but Tsunoda ended up with the fastest lap points anyway. There's a slipstream. Hülkenberg gets on exit there on the run down to the final bend, and he beats Tsunoda to the line, but Tsunoda ends up with the point anyway between the two with that fastest lap. And so, Kimi Antonelli takes his first win in Super Formula 1, only a week removed from his first podium, becoming the first rookie to win a race. Lewis Hamilton with an incredible result from ninth at the start to take his first podium for Ferrari in second, and George Russell did very well to finish third. Max Verstappen from a second place start finishes in fourth, and Oscar Piastri essentially forfeited a would-be second with that extra stop, finishing in fifth. His teammate Norris finishes in sixth, and then pole sitter Alex Albon did his best to hold on to at least points, doing so in seventh in front of his teammate Sainz in eighth. Gasly back in the points in ninth, and Lawson with his first RB point in 10th. Outside of the points, Leclerc didn't have the same luck as Hamilton, starting and finishing 11th. Yuki Tsunoda finishes 14th but takes a point for fastest lap, as remember, Project SF1 still rewards a point for the fastest lap regardless of position. The gap is 18 at the top of the Drivers' Championship, with Norris still leading from Russell, but look at this, second place down to sixth place, separated by only 10 points. This is essentially a six-way title fight at the time being. Hamilton finally jumps ahead of Tsunoda, but quite displaced from that top six. 20 points separate McLaren and Mercedes in the constructors, with Ferrari quite a ways back, but still ahead of Red Bull, and then Williams enters the top 5 ahead of Racing Bulls. So there it is, from Daytona, a first-time race winner with Kimi Antonelli on the top step. We'll see you next time on Project Super Formula 1 from Lake Maggiore.